I'm JC. This is Nat. Together we've helped hundreds of foreigners get more life for less money by having a retirement in Thailand. Now we've set out on a new adventure with the help of Danoi, Kakao, and Gopher. Together, join us on our journey while we turn this into save
many months later.
This and make a full forest and help make Thailand green again. Well, Nat, guess what?
For 1 year.
1 year anniversary of
The farm.
the farm. And for those that watch our channel, the opening every time now shows what this looked like 1 year ago. What did it look like 1 year ago?
Just the dirt here.
That's right, only clay. So what have we done? Let's talk about what we've done over the last year and possibly what's going to be happening this year. Are we still going to be here this year? We're not sure, but there's a few things I want to get you caught up on, like updates, and then we'll be back to talk about what we've done this year and what we plan on doing the next year. All right? So check this out. So there's not a lot of things in the world that scare me, but there is one. If you've been watching the videos, a couple videos back I talked about me seeing a snake on the way to the chicken coop, and we tried to find it and couldn't find it, and I told you it was about a meter and a half, something like that. Well, probably thought I was exaggerating, which I could have been because I don't like snakes. But last night by the chicken coop, her brother heard something, and see that guy? How long do you think he is? Here, I'll put my hand next to one part and you can see he's a big guy. Glad I didn't run into him at night, Nat.
Yeah.
Not good. Oh my God. All right, so we're back. So in a year, this, like you said, this was just clay. Now we have, what's over there?
Tree. Big tree.
A big tree. No, we have a house. We have a temporary living structure. So we had that place. First of all, we had the slab put on, right? Then we had, and she's got pictures of all this. It's funny looking back. It's hard to believe it was only a year, right? And so we put the slab first, had the house brought in. We have had a few challenges, which we'll talk about over the year. One is because of the clay soil, it doesn't percolate water really well. So we have a septic system that doesn't drain into the ground too well. So we're trying to look at how to upgrade that so it drains. We're going to put in another, they put these like cylindrical cement tubes in the ground, and like I say, they fill up. And so we dug another hole, and we're going to put 3 more in there. And anyway, we're trying to get that addressed. That was one challenge. The other challenge is our kitchen is open. We put up a couple walls to help keep out the rain, right? It's helped keep out the rain, sure, but it's not keeping out the birds. Birds are coming into our kitchen and eating food, and that doesn't like it because of the excrement all over the kitchen, and so that's an issue we're going to address. Solar has been okay, but
not enough now.
the challenge was we have a real small refrigerator, and we got a small one because
We have a little house.
Because we were going to grow our own vegetables and everything. We weren't going to need the refrigerator to go to the market, buy the vegetables and everything. We were going to be growing them. How's that worked out?
Not working good yet.
Not good yet. Okay. And so you can see over here, this was our garden. These were little eucalyptus trees.
Yeah.
They're big now, very big. And so the trees grew well. Our bananas are doing, some are doing okay. Now we've got these bananas are what I call farang banana.
กล้วยหอม
Goi hom, which are the bigger ones. The Thais have the smaller ones, so we're going to start planting some of those because I think these are difficult to grow.
yeah
Some of them are doing well. Some of them are about the size of where we put them in originally, right?
they grow but they're not looking good later I don't know why
Yeah, some are growing. Now, some things have really taken off. Some things really like the soil. What likes the soil? The roses,
the road the
hibiscus, bird of paradise, flowering trees.
coconut
Coconut trees are doing okay, right? Yeah.
some tree
Cashew tree, Metmamuang, is doing okay.
teak tree
Teak trees, yeah, we got a couple of teak trees that are really big. I'll try and show you one on the other side of the property over there. And how many trees do you think we have now? We keep buying trees.
oh I think maybe 1,000
I'm not sure about 1,000, but we got a few, and we've been buying some big trees now to try and get a jump on getting some shade and some ambiance on the property. So we've got two trees here. Most of these are flowering trees, the big ones, right?
yes
We got a jacaranda. We got, if you know,
flower
and that's the one like for the blooms in Songkran. If you've never seen the yellow tree that blooms here during Songkran, it's like yellow orchids hanging off of the tree. Beautiful tree. And we got some other trees. Also what you call wiwaladi, which we call frangipani. What do we do when we see one we like?
just break and
Snap off a branch, stick it in the ground. They seem to grow really well.
good.
So here's two of our trees that we planted. You can see that one behind the shade house right there. There's two there. And we've got some indigenous trees that are growing too. You can't see that in the back of the slab here or whatever it is, the mound where we're going to build the house. But there's two indigenous ones that are back there growing. And this is jacaranda here that's growing, and then we planted another big one on the other side. I don't know if you can see through the porch. On the other side of the porch you can see a stalk there, a trunk, a small trunk. Anyway, it's bigger than the house, and that's a flower. Okay, and we've got two big trees that we did out here, which we'll walk over here and check out. Again, the eucalyptus and everything are growing. My coffee plants, I tried coffee. They didn't want to grow in the garden, so I've actually put them now in pots in our little shade house. And they seem to be doing much better over here. And this is a sort of the staging area for when we buy plants and trees. So all those need to go in the ground.
yes
And our fish we're not sure about yet. Who's this?
สวัสดีครับยัง
Who's that? Whoa! Wow! He's getting good with that bike, huh? Evil Knievel. We found this. They actually cut a tree. Now we've just had what, 3 days of really strong winds and water, a lot of rain, and so you can see this guy. He just bent over from the soft soil. So we'll put him back up. We're not sure if he's going to grow. Actually, we got a couple leaves in that. Maybe he's going to grow. Somebody cut down this beautiful frangipani, and it was, God, it must have been sitting there about a week before we saw it, and all cut up. So we've got two branches that we stuck in the ground. Hopefully they'll keep growing. And what else, Nat? We got Nat's garden. We're talking about maybe putting a swimming pond in here, a natural swimming pond in the ground. Not sure about water snakes, if that would be a problem. But her garden is doing well. Again, we got two flowering trees here. Check these little guys out. I think this is called purslane. Nat loves this stuff, and it's prolific. It loves the soil here.
easy to grow
Yeah, you just cut off a couple pieces, throw them in the ground, they start growing beautiful little flowers. Those are all hibiscus. Nat doesn't like my wooddelia, but you can see the ground cover here with the wooddelia is really growing well. Some of our bougainvilleas are doing really well. The ones that don't get too much water or saturation of the clay soil. And these are some nice flowers. They're growing well. And if you want to see what I'm talking about clay soil, I need to put walkways here because look at this. Check this out. It's mush. It's mush. Yeah. In fact, I'm sliding around here. And so we got to get some cement walkways run through the property. That's going to be happening in the future. Our chickens got sick, but we gave them some ivermectin and some antibiotics, and they're doing well. I'm not sure if it was COVID or something else, but the ivermectin will keep them from getting COVID or take care of them if they had it. But it was some kind of throat infection or something. They were making some funny noises, but they seem to be doing okay now. We're hoping we got fish that are growing in the pond, right? Yeah. Okay.
They come out
yeah, and you can see the rain we've had. Now the water's all the way out of the pond over here, and we put up a little blue net on the end here to help try and keep fish from swimming out. If we have fish, we're not sure exactly how many fish we have. Now I just slid down that little hill there. Really mushy. So we're going to try and get this film walking around. But we're not sure how soft the ground is. But Nat's got all sorts of trees here planted.
Grow too much in 1 year.
Yeah, well, not all of them have been in the ground 1 year, but there seem to be most of them taken off. So we're hoping these are going to start growing. Our driveway is lined with a fishtail palm and bamboo, and just over the last couple of months, it seems to be taken off.
Yeah.
And so some of these are now starting to grow well. My irrigation system left a lot to be desired. I tried to put some drip irrigation, but we had too high a pressure. So now I got pressure reducers, but I need to rework the whole piping around the property and figure out if I'm going to just leave it. Because once you put all this piping down, it's hard to cut the grass. And as you can see, rainy season has just started at Songkran, and everything has greened up, and it takes about, cutting this about once a week to keep it down. One of the reasons we keep this down is why?
Because when you pull the rope to put the water.
Yeah, if I pull the hose around to try and water some of these trees, it gets caught on these weeds, and also because of what we showed them just a few minutes ago.
Snake.
The snakes, that's right.
We have bamboo, hnormai.
Yeah, you got some sprouts there. Very cool. Again, we've got 2 trees out here we bought, and the trees is amazing. We can get this tree that we found a place we can buy these big trees like this for like, what is it, 280 baht or 300? That's like $10. Incredible bargain. Now my flying birds that I had here, we had some bad storms and these guys are beat. And so let's walk around a little bit and show them. But everything started out, except for these big trees we've been buying now for about 300 baht or so. Everything started out as really, really small. Some things, like I say, have taken off. Now we've lined our little road here with bougainvillea along our fence line, so that's really cool. Hopefully those will start doing well. So far they're still flowering and everything, so it's really nice. These pines we bought, they weren't very big. How big were they?
But they thin.
Yeah, they were about almost 1 meter.
Yeah.
But you can see now I'm 2 meters and this is towering over me, and some of them are getting really big. You can see down here. The eucalyptus, we're hoping is going to line here. We want to also run a line here of maybe some palm trees and bananas or something along here as well, and maybe put a little road through here to be able to access down here. But you can see from this angle a lot of green, and see this is an example of some trees that do well. This guy's doing okay. This guy we're not quite sure about. And this is a flower. Was this already here, or you plant this?
grow natural over there. I moved to put
Oh,
here.
you dug it up and brought it over. Yeah, it's
But they're
doing well.
looking good.
Yeah, it's doing really well. There's a stake here,
Something gone here.
but something's
Oh
gone.
no here.
Oh,
The
it's
grass
buried in
cover.
there?
Yeah, where somebody cut and I'm gonna have the go new.
Oh, yeah. A couple things got cut early on because they were so small, people couldn't see them when they were weed eating and would hack them down, and then they have to regrow. I think that happened to this teak tree. It got hacked. This is a mango. It's doing well.
My little tambourine.
Yeah, it's a tamarind. It's just finally now growing.
Yeah.
For 8 months, 10 months, it was just like a couple inches high. I didn't know if it was even going to survive. Our mulberries are doing really well. We have about 4 mulberry trees or bushes. We've seen them turn into trees too in places now. I didn't know they would grow so big. They'll grow into a tree. This one down here is a cashew. It's doing really well, right? What is that one?
This one big tree, payung.
A big tree. But check out this teak. Here, go stand next to the teak, Nat. How tall are you?
165.
165. Watch this. Look how big this guy's gotten. Yeah, nice, huh? And you said this is a cashew. It's doing really well. It's happy here. Speaking of trees dying and stuff, we've had a few dying. And we've tried to replace some, but some we've replaced 2 or 3 times and they don't grow, so they don't like the soil or something. We've had a couple birds die.
Yeah,
We tried to rescue a bird. There was another one in a nest, and it fell. One of the little babies either fell out or the mom kicked it out and it died, so we had 2 birds die, and one of our dogs passed the other day. So what else can we show them? But things are greened up. It's a lot different than the clay that was here originally, right? There's our snake dog out there. Dick the snake dog. Yeah, he goes after the cobras. What's this one?
This one big tree.
A big tree too.
Yeah.
So for big trees, we've got a mahogany,
Mahogany,
teak,
payung,
payun I'm not familiar with.
katin.
I'm not familiar with that one either. But we have some big trees. How many teak trees do we have?
10.
Maybe 10.
Maybe,
Yeah, well that's good that they're growing.
I don't know they have 10 or not. I don't check.
Some of them are still small. They got cut again by the weed eater. So you can see one of them over there. It got cut by the weed eater.
I'm not sure.
Yes, a lot of the stuff is natural here on the grounds. And just decided to leave them. Like there's two here, 3 here. We're going to leave those. What's this guy, do you know?
Mahogany.
That's a mahogany. And that one is cashew?
Yeah, cashew.
But we're going to sort of leave this jungle out here. We're going to let a lot of this natural stuff grow. This was macadamia that I planted about 2 weeks ago, which now, like I say, it's gotten a lot of rain and the wind was really strong. And so hopefully that guy will still survive. But our jacarandas are doing really good. Nat planted 2 in the back of the property that had shade during the winter, and they really took off. This one here had shade from these 2 clumps of grass that her son just cut down a couple days ago. And there's a jacaranda in here, which hopefully it'll be taken off soon. And along the perimeter now, we've also got frangipanis planted all the way along the perimeter from this corner of the lot all the way down this side of the property and along the back side of the property down there all the way back to the pond. And so that's going to be really pretty once those things start to bloom. And some of them are blooming already, even as small little trees we've stuck in the ground. We rescued a couple trees that people had dug up. This was one we rescued, and it seems to be growing. I just stuck it in the ground. And so it's still growing. Did you plant this, Nat, or did this just grow here?
I plant
You planted it. Do you know what it is?
a flower,
A flowering tree.
big tree and flower.
A big flowering tree. This was another one we rescued and stuck in the ground, and it didn't make it. But Nat has planted something next to it that's growing. Along here we still have some more of these, I call them Australian pines. I'm not sure the actual name of them. I loved these when I was a kid in Florida. Oh man, when the wind would blow, if you were sitting underneath these things, it would just whistle through the trees, through these pines. It was really nice. So hopefully those will grow up and look good. Again, our frangipanis, you can see, here's another one. They're planted all along, and like I said, we just take branches, stick them in the ground, and they seem to like it here and grow. So that's real cool. And as I said, today's the first day we're walking around on the property since 2 or 3 days ago. We had a really strong storm, rained for 2 days straight, and so the ground is really soft. And as you can see, some of the things Nat's over there behind me back there trying to straighten some stuff out. Here's another example of what happened with too much wind and rain. The ground gets really soft and the things sort of lean and fall over. We got to get them back up, try and straighten them out a little bit. And as I said, here's our palm trees, coconuts, and so they seem to be doing really well. Again, we're a year into this thing. Growing our vegetables didn't work out so good. We grew tomatoes and some eggplant, long eggplant. Those did okay. The rest of the stuff really doesn't grow too well. We tried corn. We only had a few stalks of corn, and I didn't know about pollinating the corn, and so it didn't have a lot of kernels on it. And this year I threw, I don't know, 70 seeds over there, and we got like 7 stalks of corn. So I need to figure that out, what's happening. This was all our fruit trees in here. Some are doing well, some didn't make it. Here's what I'm talking about these guiham, these long bananas. They're not really indigenous to this area, and so it's really hard to get them to grow. Got a couple of them doing well, but most of them are sort of stunted. Our avocados is a real challenge. You get them in the ground, they seem to do well, and then all of a sudden they just bail and don't do well. But she just planted that guy. But we've got now citrus. I think here's an example of one of our avocados. So like I say, some of them just don't do well in this soil. We've got some papayas growing. Got about 6 or 8 papaya trees. Our citrus now, they didn't do well in the soil, so we actually got these cylindrical. This is what they use for the septic. This is a small variety of it. So we put our citrus in those, and they seem to be doing well.
Have the food already.
Look at this. Hey, we've got some lemon lime, manao, like key limes. Our dragon fruit are growing. I thought they'd grow faster than that, but
Time for Thai,
they're getting close to the tops. Yeah, you can see this guy's getting pretty close up here. Yeah, this one's got some fruit too now. And so our shade house that's going to do the hydroponics in has been a big challenge. And as you saw, I'm not exactly sure yet. We had the rain, so the project got put on hold. This one is now attached to the cement poles, and I cut off about a ½ meter off each side, so I think that's going to be what we're going to go with. I tried using like this rebar. These are on rebar and they're longer poles. They're just too flimsy, so I don't think I'm going to go with that. Hopefully this week that'll get worked on and finished. Now we have a few frangipanis that have taken a beating here, leaning over. Some of these are gorgeous. When we see them, like I say, we can just ask the people and snap off a branch and come bring it. Some of these are gorgeous. you know, the purples and stuff. Check this guy out. Some of these are just beautiful flowers. And so it's going to be nice when all those get big and they're blooming. So again, our hydroponics isn't happening. The storm blew the original roof down and busted up a piece of the hydroponic system that I've now got replaced. But now we got to get the hoop house up, get some solar power for the pump, and get all that working. And that's been on the back burner for the last few weeks. Here's some more jacaranda trees. These, like I said, did really well because they have the shade of this tree in the winter. Now they're getting full sun, and hopefully they'll continue to grow. But she put 2 of those in, and they're doing really well. And that's about it. Like I said, out in this garden, I would love to put a swimming pond, natural water feature out there, and a swimming pond. We just put this up for Nat to try some more vegetables at back here. We're going to mix in some good soil in that and hopefully get some things growing in there. Her lemongrass is doing well. I think I started to talk about the power and never finished. And so the idea was to grow the vegetables and stuff and not have to have refrigeration very much. So we got a real small refrigerator. How many square cubic?
5.
Yeah, 5 or 6 cube. And it's just packed all the time.
Yeah.
So we've upgraded our refrigerator.
Yeah.
And how many cubes is the one we have now?
7.3.
7.3 or something like that.
Yeah.
And it only uses 10 more watts of electricity than the small guy. So we went with that, but we don't have enough power yet to run it. There's been a few times at night or early in the morning that we've lost power. We've used too much power, because in the afternoon, if it's like this, or it's afternoon and I start watering everything with our submersible pump using the electric from the day, it starts eating it off the battery. Yeah. If we run the pump for the water, for washing dishes or anything too much, or what else do we use the power for?
Cooking.
Yeah, stove, stuff like that. Usually we use gas, but you know, if there's sun out, the cooking with the solar with electric is free, you know, so that's cool. But anyway, the point of that was we've upgraded the refrigerator, and I bought 2 more batteries. They haven't been delivered yet, so we'll have 2 more 200 amp hour batteries connected to the 2 we already have, and that'll give us 800 amp hours, and you get to use those down to about 50% before the inverter cuts them off. So we're going to double our power. We should have enough for the bigger refrigerator, which will be really cool, and be able to run the air and not have to worry about it shutting off. And the other thing, this is Nat calls this my jacuzzi. You know, in cold climates they have hot tubs. Yeah. This is a cold tub. And I saw one of these that was real long, and I thought, oh, this is really good. I'll be able to, you know, fill it with water, slide in when it's hot. And I never did it because it was like $100, about 3,000 baht, something like that. But Nat's brother had this. He wasn't using it anymore. He only used it like one time for selling some fish. And so we gave him 1,000 baht. It was like $30 US. And right now it's dirty, but it was really nice to be able to fill the water from the groundwater with our submersible pump. It would be cool, and I'd be able to slip in and cool off during the day after mowing the yard or something, or at night. We've climbed in this thing and the stars are out, or the lightning off in the distance, really cool. And I just poured a slab to be able to move this over, and I'm going to put some poles up and some of that black shade cloth over it, so in the daytime when I do get in that thing, it's going to be cool and not be in the direct sun. Here's our wall that we put up for the kitchen, and so that's working out real well. We had our tile done for the kitchen, and so we're real happy with that. And that's what's been going on this year. Yes. So do we have any plans for the upcoming year?
Yes.
We would like to
make a new chicken coop.
Move the chickens from over there onto our property here, because they're too far away.
Yeah.
But the cobra, since the cobra's dead, we've gotten more eggs. So maybe that cobra was eating the eggs. Yeah, that could have been what was happening, why we didn't get a lot of eggs. So we want to get the chickens moved over here. I'm not sure if it's going to be a chicken tractor or a fixed chicken coop for them, but we got to get them over. We have poles. You can see that we got these poles from Nat's uncle over there on the ground, cement poles. We would like to get those put up over here to start construction on a house. I'm not sure if it's going to be a cob house or what. It would be nice to be able to do earthen construction, but we want to get the poles in the ground here and some footers connecting them up and get a roof up. And that would be the start of our house here. Nat would like to close in the kitchen a little bit here. Of course, there'll be a kitchen in the new house that we build, so this will end up being just like a sala or entertainment area. So I'm not sure how tightly we're gonna batten this down, but it would be good to be able to keep some of the rain out when it rains hard, and Nat would like to be able to keep the birds out. But anyway, that's what's been going on over the last year. A lot of flowers doing well. And hopefully we've got some fish in the pond. And I'm not sure what else we're going to end up doing, but that's it.
The photo look the view higher.
Yeah, we would like, I'm not sure if they can see this. We have some shade cloth over where we parked the car, because Nat's mom used to come over and say, the poor car, it's out in the sun, you know, and the paint's going to fade, not good for the car. So we put up the shade house, but we're thinking about possibly putting a carport with stairs going up, right, Nat?
Yes.
That we'd be able to climb up on the top and look at the stars or whatever from up there. We're not sure if that's going to happen or not. Not sure how high that is on our priority list. But that's it.
Oh, we have one thing, we can make the little sapan go to the pond.
Yes, out on the pond, I would like to actually put like a dock that goes out just a little bit so we can walk out there, eat, sit down, feed the fish and stuff like that. So
Walkway here.
yeah, a lot of walkway. We've got to get the walkways in because the ground is really soft during rainy season. And so
and for with the tree more.
yeah, but it's starting to come along, isn't it? You know, it's starting to fill in, which is really cool. As you can see from the house over here, we've got a lot of foliage, you know?
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens. Here's my 7 stalks of corn. Check out these sunflowers, though. This is really cool. Check these guys out, man. A lot of sunflowers on these little bushes. Of course, they took a beating in the storm over the last couple of days as well. So that's it. There's a mulberry right over there. He's doing really good. He's taller than me now.
Oh, the tomato.
Yeah, and then next to it, you can't see through all the weeds, but we've got tomato plants and some more eggplant growing along here. And Nat's got some more little guavas coming out on her guava tree. So hopefully we'll have some of those as well. Another coffee tree. Some of them did okay in the ground, but most of them didn't do good. I had to put them in the shade house. A couple pineapples growing. But that's the scoop. And so, and the thing about this is, we're getting ready, real close to launching a community website. Because a lot of people want to, know about how to do this. What about land? What about growing stuff? And in our member site, it doesn't really have access for everybody. It's really for retirees. But now we have digital nomads over here. We have people that got income or, a cushion where they can live part of the year away from their home country and stuff. A lot of people can now, and they're just now opening Thailand back up. It's almost to where you can come back without doing anything out of the norm. And so we're getting ready to launch this community site, which is going to have all lessons set up as a lesson format about visas and marriage and property and all the things that were in my member site before. It's going to be in the community website as lessons. The news will be aggregated there. It's going to have a marketplace, it's going to have everything. So look forward to that. I'll be talking about that real soon, that's going to be launched, and you'll be able to come hang out with us in the community website, which is really exciting. And so that's it. Hope I wasn't too long-winded. I just wanted to get you up to speed. It's been a year, and I think we've come a long way since everything was just clay right now.
Yeah, look this.
Yeah, check this guy out. Ooh. Big eucalyptus, and a lot of these I'm going to be just chopping and throwing them down for mulch on the ground to try and get the quality of the soil to keep getting better. I think it's gotten a lot better since we started this, but we're going to continue to do that. Maybe get some more water features on the property. Like I said, I wanted the pond, but maybe a couple more where we can store water. And that's it. So thanks for coming along on our journey for the year. Year number 1 is done, and we're still thinking it's a good idea though to try and grow our fruits and vegetables. We've got eggs. Hopefully we'll have some fish, grow some fruits and vegetables and stuff, and be sustainable, self-sustainable. And so that's the goal. We'll see how it all works out. Maybe we'll end up at a beach somewhere. Once all this stuff takes off, I've told Nat, hey, if we need to go, let her son take care of the chickens and go hang at the beach for a while. Anyway, that's it. Remember, no matter what's happening in your life though, there's always options. You know, Thailand's one option. There's a lot of others, but hang in there. As the saying goes, this too shall pass. So no matter what's happening, and it could get worse before it gets better in some respects, you never know. And so just hang in there, come up with a plan, follow your plan, and be flexible though. If there's some speed bumps along the way, just slow down and go over them and keep on moving. Keep on trucking. Right now, there you go. Take care. From us to you, stay well and stay strong, and see you on our community site soon. Hey, JC here. If you like that video, make sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel here. Also, we have another video up here you're going to be really interested in watching as well. And if you're looking for all the details of how to retire in Thailand in one place, plus a group of people to support you, check this out over here. Give it a click.